to have it at a restaurant. So
Hello.
hi,
Hello.
Tammy.
How are we? Let's see. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a total of 10. So there's a couple more coming on. We'll give you guys a few minutes just to get on. We'll be short today. It won't be a long one, right? I just really want to kind of give you a lay of the land of what's happening. The actual quest starts next week, but this is going to be your prep week. This is if you so choose to do it this way, right? You always have the buffer zone. But I'm going to give you guys just another minute or two. I'll let you go ahead and talk amongst yourselves until we get everybody on. I haven't heard that somebody's not joining tonight. So just real quick, if you haven't, all of you should have received an invitation to the Facebook group. So if you haven't responded to that, go in and ask to join. One thing
What's it called, Tammy? Because I didn't do that.
you should have had an email.
It was an email.
Oh, it was an
Yeah,
email.
and it'll take you right to the link.
I
thought
probably
that was
wasn't
good.
on my email. Oh, there it is. I see the email. Okay. What's that?
Let's see. No, Jane, we can't see you.
All right, so
She was like, can you see me? So one of the things that you are going to notice, and I'm going to try to utilize it, so I would love your input on this. I'm really going to be double dipping. I'm going to Practice Better has the ability to set up modules and a chat and kind of keep everything there. You all are used to the Facebook group, so I did the Facebook group. So try not to get confused. Everything is going to be in both locations. And at the end, I just want to hear what you thought was easier. Because if we can eliminate the Facebook group, it might be nice to have everything all in one place, right? The only thing is you can chat. I don't know if you're going to be able to upload recipes or share things as easy as you can on Facebook. So that input would be great, right? I just wanted to see, did you guys like it housed there? Do you like it still on Facebook? We'll see. So they're going to be in both places. Okay. So I'm going to give you 2 more minutes just to make sure the little stragglers that are coming on. And we'll go over all about our quest. So one of the things, go ahead. Who was going to ask me something?
Maureen,
Yes.
so this email that I just looked up, it doesn't say anything about a Facebook group. It says view the module, which
Because that's Practice Better. You're going to have to differentiate, right? Where it's coming from. The module released at 7 p.m. So you're going to have to go back a little bit earlier. I think I did the Facebook invites around 5 o'clock.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just so you know, you're sideways now. There you go. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started because it is recorded. So somebody wants to jump on later, so they can do that. Okay. So what I want to do is talk about what this 4-week quest is and what it's not. Okay. So even though it's a program, I don't want you all to think of it as this 4-week mini program that you're following and that has an end. Okay. I also don't want it to be that your sole purpose is at the end of 4 weeks, you say, I've lost so X number of pounds. Okay. You're going to be missing it. The programs that we've done are just, if you finish, you're done. You're back here because you really want to get deeper and rewire your brain. Let this start to become your automatic thoughts and habits and foods that you go to. This is really, really where I want to get into and drill down into your habits, right? Habits around your thoughts, habits around your foods, why you're choosing what you're choosing. There are a couple things that I've said in the alumni group, and I'm going to repeat them here for those of you that are not in the group. We want to learn to level up our foods, okay? So that means, simply put, instead of having white bread, we might go to a sprouted grain bread. From a sprouted grain bread, you might go to a gluten-free seed bread. From that, you might go to a lettuce wrap, okay? We want to just keep leveling up our choices. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to shift between a couple from time to time. But for the most part, you're going to be choosing those foods that really serve your higher purpose, your why you all have continued to do this. Why are you still with me trying to go through WildFit? Now, the reason I picked summer is because summer is one of the best places for you to live, like throughout the year, okay? You can go into spring. You all know how to do that very, very well. You can dabble in winter. Winter's meant more so for vacations or a night out or a special occasion or something like that. The majority of the time, you should run right down the middle in summer. And that's why I wanted to do it right smack dab in the middle of summer. When you have vacations, when you have barbecues, when you have guests, right? This is where you're going to learn how to navigate every day. That's what I want for you all. And so as we go through it, now I'm going to say program, but that's not really what I mean. It is going to be custom to each of you because each one of you is going to have different circumstances. And you're going to see that on Saturdays and Sundays, I want you to really look at the menu plan. I want you to look at your calendar, and I want you to identify where you're going to have a hiccup, potential hiccup or roadblock, something that could sabotage the way you're eating, and plan for it. Look at the menu plan. Maybe there's a meal you don't like. Get rid of it. Swap it out with something else. Okay. Maybe there's an ingredient. Maybe you're going to be away for a couple days. What are you going to do? The idea is to get into the habit of doing it ahead of time. Identifying it, swapping it out, making the changes, making a plan, and then moving forward. Okay. So it's going to be custom. This is not about perfection, you guys. This is not spring where you want to just follow it, follow it, follow it. This is where you want to learn about you, what you automatically pick up, what you crave, where you want something at night, and what you're going to replace it with. What are you going to level up and choose? How are you going to navigate your vacation? How are you going to do this and that? That's why it's going to be custom. You're also going to bring in food categories, okay? Now we've kind of pushed them to the side and we brought them back in, but we're going to relook at them. And this is going to be like, we're literally going to be in the trenches with each call. Okay, we got 4 calls. That's it. So I want you to bring in, I got vacation. I'm not sure what to do. I've got this. I don't know what to do. How do I level this up? Here's the habit. Here's the voice. That's what I want you to do. None of you are rookies. There's not a single rookie in here. And some of you have gone through WildFit 2 and even 3 times. Okay, so now it's just really, let's make it in your brain. How does it just start coming like this? What can I choose? What can I choose? Okay, so with that, the goal is to learn how to eat from day to day, from week to week, not just for the 4 weeks, but for the next couple months, for the next year, right? Just so that it becomes automatic for you and that it's not, it rewires and it's your new automatic. That's what we're doing, okay? Okay, so I wanna go through, I'm gonna verbally list out your resources, what you're gonna be using and what you're gonna start with, and we're gonna review a couple tonight. And then we're just going to kind of wrap it up with what I want you all to be doing this week. It should be really, really self-explanatory. Get talking in the group. and I'll take questions at the end. So the first thing is we're going to go over, and this was in the module that just dropped. So for those of you that just joined, you're going to have access to all your handouts in guides, just like you always have in the Facebook group. So if you haven't requested to join the Facebook group, you received an email, go back and look for that somewhere between 5:30. Do that and they are there. I am trying something new with Practice Better, and there are going to be modules. Okay, so what really is going to be released, and I've got to see if this is going to work. As I do your menu plans and grocery list and recipes, I'm trying to see if I can put that in as a module and have it released for you, and then it's always housed right there. If not, it'll be in the Facebook group. Okay, so a little bit of working there, so bear with me as I try and figure it out. You will have everything. And so don't get confused. If you get confused, just reach out. So we are going to do a get ready for success prep. So we'll walk through that in just a second. I'm giving you a summer food list with suggested portion sizes. That's something we haven't done in WildFit, right? But that is something I want you to consider. And I forgot to load the balance plate. So for those of you that are have been in the office, you know that I utilize something called the balance plate. We are going to incorporate that. We've got our summer foods, right? Summer. We are going to put it into the balance plate. Half your plate in vegetables, a certain amount of protein, a little bit of fat, and a little bit of carb. And that's exactly where summer is. That carb is going to be those specific starchier vegetables and root vegetables and the fruits that are allowed in summer. Okay, so I just realized I forgot to upload that for you guys, so I'll do it as soon as we're done. Menus will be released and recipes and grocery list on Fridays. You will not have one for this prep week. Okay, you'll have access to, most of you have gone to my Pinterest. If you go there, and I'll explain that when we get into the success prep, but this week is just a really kind of getting ready, but you have access to tons of recipes if you want them. So the real ones just for this program and the quest will actually come in on Friday. You'll get your first one Friday morning. We're going to review the 6 human hungers, utilizing your food dialogue, your food timeline, reviewing all the sugar names. You've got your Facebook group. We'll talk about Pinterest. And you guys have each other. Use all of your resources. Use and rely on each other, because this is a big, big part. If you're stuck, maybe somebody else has a swap. Hey, I'm going to a party. Boom. We're going to talk about it. I want to jump into this right now. So let me share my screen. Okay. So this is let me see if I can move this out of the way. There we go. Okay. So this is your Get Ready for Success prep guide that you are going to use. So everything's going to start tomorrow, and this is just prep. What I've done is a really, really condensed version of food removal, right? So removing the sugar, removing the grains, taking all those things that don't belong in our summer and getting them out. Now, we're going like this. You could read through this and decide to do them all at once. You can do them on the days that I say, okay? So if you go to Pinterest, the majority, unless you go to breads, cakes, and muffins, you'll probably find some sugar. But if you're looking at, dinner recipes and breakfast recipes and salads and all of those types of things in my regular Pinterest, they're not going to have gluten. They're not going to have grains. They're not going to have sugar. They're not going to have dairy. Okay, so if you need extra help, that's where to go. So starting tomorrow, we're going back to our 5x5 breathing, implementing your 8 to 10 glasses of water, and your Alka-Geyser Prime or mild. Remember, you can do either one in summer. I want you to review the 6 human hungers, because I want you to start asking yourself, which hunger am I experiencing? And you're going to remove sugar. So there's going to be a handout of different names of sugars. We're going to go back to reading labels. and utilize that to get those sugars out. Thursday morning, you're going to, so green means we're adding, red means we're removing. We're going to observe our food dialogue. Okay, so we're going to start implementing the food dialogue. You have all these handouts in your Facebook. We're going to remove all the grains, the wheat, the rice, the oat, and we're also going to remove potatoes. We want to get that white stuff out of there. And then on Friday, you're going to begin to utilize the food timeline, because by now you're going to start to get a little cranky if you've been consuming some of these, and you want to observe how you are talking yourself into it and how you are feeling after you're eating certain foods. We are then going to remove dairy. Now, what I put in there, the buffer zone only refers to alcohol and caffeine. Okay. Now, I want to give a little disclaimer for this one. I know it is summer. Okay. So this is kind of where the food category is going to come into. I really do want you to stick to the removal of sugar and grains and things like that. Alcohol and caffeine, we're going to be looking for substitutes, or we're going to be like, what's the quantity and frequency that I can have this because it's summer? Because remember, there are no hard and fast rules for this one. It's about how to learn to live in summer. So unless you don't drink alcohol or you don't drink caffeine, you're probably going to have some somewhere, somehow. Now, like I said, you can follow it straight through 4 weeks and get rid of it, or we can talk about how to weave it in and out that really still serves you and keeps you in a good place. Okay, Saturday and Sunday. So because Friday is when you are going to receive your menu, I want you to spend this time and get used to planning, right? You're going to have that menu plan and you're going to go through and you're going to look at it. I'm not going to make everybody happy, I'm sure. Somebody's going to be like, I don't like that, or I don't like this, or oh, I don't like that spice. That's a-okay. You guys can just say, I don't want that one. I'm going to make double of this one, or I'm going to substitute my own recipe. I'm going to make something, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just extra to help you guys so that you have things to fall back on if you want to. So once you have that menu plan, you're going to then look at your calendar. What events do you have during that week? Is there a day that you're not going to have access to cooking or anything like that? Is there a meal that's going to happen? Is there an event that's going to happen? What changes do you need to make to be compliant? And what do you plan? What's the plan? What are you going to swap? What are you going to delete? And then let me see if I can move this. I can't see. The last one, I'll look at mine. Hold on. Then you're going to review and also update. I lost you guys somehow. I'll come back to y'all in a minute. If I lost you, I can't see your faces. You're going to review and update your food categories. Some of you have already done your food categories. Some of you have never done your food categories. Now is the time. So I'm going to load one of those sheets in there in Facebook, and you can print that out. You could use your own, but I want you to use it as a working document. Some of these things you might want to cross off and say, I'm not doing that anymore. You might want to add things, or you just might want a new food category for this particular program for these next 4 weeks, okay? So I am going to stop sharing there and bring you guys all back. Okay, so one of the other things that I want to show you is, let's see, I want to get to that. This here. Okay. Oh, sorry guys, I should have PDF this so it's not actually right there. So what I did was took all of the foods that are in summer and I color coded them as they relate to the balanced plate. Okay, so the balanced plate is just going to be a big circle that's going to be divided up as if it's your plate, and you're going to see the blue will correspond to protein, and orange your fats, your vegetables, your carbs, which are both vegetable and fruit. What you're going to see is in yellow here, These are the more carbohydrate-rich vegetables, and of course, fruits are always going to be considered that carbohydrate as well. The vegetable part is what I want you to load half your plate with. Remember, the goal is still to get all the nutrients as much as we possibly can in, and you're going to see that I put recommendations for the portion sizes. So protein, 3 to 4 ounces, unless it's specified something different, like seafood, or this would be your crab or shrimp and things like that, or fish. Eggs would be 2 to 3. You're going to notice that I added collagen. You guys might want collagen going through summer. This is a-okay. And the other thing that I did was I put pork in parentheses. You may decide to have pork, like bacon or pork chops or pork tenderloin or things like that. I put it in parentheses because it's not the cleanest of proteins that we could choose, but it's certainly still available to you. You're going to see all the fats, about 1 tablespoon of any of the oils, and about 1/4 cup of any of the nuts or seeds. So about 10 to 12, whatever fits in a small handful, is going to be 1/4 cup. In vegetables, when you're thinking of a serving size, you're thinking 2 to 3 cups raw, or 1 to 1.5 cups cooked. And when we're looking at those carb vegetables, your root vegetables, it's going to be 1 cup raw or 1/2 cup cooked. You're going to notice that that's quite a difference there, because we're going to really shrink down that category. And then your fruit is going to be 1 piece or 1 cup. This is when you're looking at your plate, okay? Not necessarily for your Alka-Geyser. If you want it a little bit sweeter, you certainly can do so. I would encourage you, just like we did in those that couple beginning weeks when you started WildFit, if you've been dabbling in sugar, increase your fruit in the morning. Start with a bowl of fruit, have your Alka-Geyser, maybe an Alka-Geyser mild, because you want to start replacing those sugars with the fruit sugars, and then transition to, and when we get into our beginning week next week, pulling back some of those fruits and kind of following along, okay? Okay, so you all will have that. It will make sense when I post the balanced plate, and I think this will give you portion sizes. So if weight release is something that you're looking for, this is going to help you, because maybe some of you have been eating a lot of these foods, but maybe overeating, okay? So this week, just kind of start putting, taking your food removals, looking for where it shows up as hungry. Certainly, we're going to be looking at where you're using food as a pacifier, because a big component of all of this is your habits, right? We want to really break down those habits, identify them, and rewire them as we go through, okay? So this week, you're going to follow your guide for success there, your prep guide. You're going to look at your summer foods. You do not have to stick to those this week, but it's certainly there for you guys to start getting ready and start thinking about it and getting prepped. Okay, so what I want to do is open the floor if anyone has any questions, any confusion. What can I do to help you guys? Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up if you're good. Okay. So your to-do, just make sure you go on and request to join the Facebook, and then start looking at the handouts that you have. The big one would be to go ahead and print your WildFit Quest and have that right there. I certainly would have you print out your summer foods. You could do them all, put them in a binder, take a picture of your summer foods so that they are on your phone. And also in a few minutes, I will post this recording, and I will get like I said, a couple things that I missed. The balance plate I want to add in there for you guys. Okay, so quick and simple. Any questions? We're meeting on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. We will be on, if it's everyone will have the opportunity. So just plan for that. Ideally, we keep it to an hour, but if anybody needs more time and I want everyone to be able to really, really work through their habits and challenges and ask for all kinds of swap recommendations, and really, really make this work for you guys during these 4 weeks. Okay. Does everyone have, I will also post the link to my Pinterest. Okay, so that you guys can go on there and tool around. You can use it anytime you want, of course, but then, like I said, on Friday, you'll start getting the menus, and you don't have to follow them just like they're written. You can swap out and do whatever you want. They're just ideas to make it easy to get you guys, if you've fallen off track a little bit, get you back on track. Please, guys, do not look for perfection, but do not let yourself off the hook. Try to figure out why you want to stray. This is about recognizing that, and that little food devil and how it's talking you into not making those choices that drive you closer towards your purpose. So again, your why, we know what the bigger why is, right? The bigger why is we want to be healthy. We want to be void of disease. We want to have less inflammation and aches and pains and all of those whys that had you start your journey in the first place. And we all want weight release and inches and look good and younger. We all want that. Your why, your purpose for this quest is to really identify your habits and dismantle them. Like dismantle them, replace them, and get intimately familiar with what your swaps are. What are the swaps that level up what you've been doing, right? And we'll give you a couple levels to go up, and you get to choose. So you kind of run up and down those stairs, but you're still in a really, really healthy range. Okay, so that's your purpose.
Mhm.
All right, guys. That's
All right,
it.
thank you.
No questions. I'm going to say good night and look for your module releases. And like I said, if you get confused, just reach out and we'll make sure. But hopefully I'm trying to eliminate all of that confusion for you guys. I'll see you Tuesday night to get ready. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.